Hey y'all, let's talk Insecure. Tonight was the post block party episode 6. Ladies, I have Susan and Monica with me tonight to recap the episode and respond. All right, y'all know the drill. Are we giving this episode a thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, we have universal thumbs up. All right, Susan, you're gonna start it off. We're going to dive deep into the episode, but what was the one thing that stood out to most that gave this episode a thumbs up versus this range?
That mama hug.
Okay.
Because I just knew she had called Nathan, but she called her mama.
I thought so too.
And when she went to her mama house and they was talking and her mom asked how the event went, I was ready for her to go in on Molly and have her mom give some, well, that's been your friend forever type advice. But she kept it about work, said the event went good, but the mama knew something. So that mama hug, it broke me down.
Monica, what are your thoughts? Top level thoughts.
Yes, very much that we got a different episode that was mainly focused on Issa and her trying to navigate her life or her day, I guess you can say, in this episode without her, 2 or 3 main people by her side and just kind of, testing the waters, exploring, going to sip and paint by herself, trying to do good deeds to see that there's more to, her life at being 30 something than just being up underneath her friends all the time. So sometimes you just need days like that.
Absolutely. I think the thing that stuck out to me, this was the most insecure episode. And I actually meant that in a positive way, in the sense that we have Issa coming off of an amazing success, by all accounts success, even if you look at the social media response of her block party, yet feeling more insecure and doubtful about herself than probably any other point in the season. I think there was a thought that she was going to accomplish this block party, and then that was going to be her validation and understanding that, okay, she does have what it takes. She has things figured out. And yet we saw that she felt completely lost. And to the point where she's looking at her mirror, Issa, who's pretty lit, I have to say, for guidance every step of the way. So let's talk about Mirror Issa. We start off the episode, and Issa, I've been saying this, that Issa is a damn pushover. She's way too much of a pushover. And we saw Mirror Issa trying to have her have a little bit more gangsta in her. Season, what did you think about that?
Well, I have a question. So has Issa's mirror image always talked back to her, or is that more of a new concept that the show has done? Because I feel like she would just rap in the mirror and that would be it.
I feel like that too. Monica, do you recall where?
No, actually, no. I think this is like a new entity that they're putting into the show.
Yeah.
Okay. So the mirror Issa, I like her, obviously. She carries most of Issa's emotions. She's very logical and reasonable. I do appreciate at the very end when the mirror image did not have anything to say, and she was like, bitch, this is on you, and Issa made the right decision, because that's what I would have did. But Mirror Issa is cool. I really relate to Mirror Issa personally, because I be like, man, fuck that bitch. You ain't wrong. You ain't never wrong.
But Monica, Mirror Issa had some good advice and she had some bad advice. What do you think overall? Is Mirror Issa a little bit more sensible than real life Issa, or are they both a hot mess?
I think Mirror Issa has plays the middle. So like, for instance, on this episode, for the most part, Mirror Issa was very encouraging on her new journey, or, just trying to find her way with regards to, like, oh, you should go with these stranger dangers you don't know to drinks or whatever. And then, so I mean, I just feel like she plays like the middle, like there's not, you know, she's not taking sides on good, bad, you know, whatever. So it's just, I mean, it's very, you know, middle of the road, it seems like, with Marisa on all the episodes.
Yeah, I agree with you because I think there is one point where Mira Issa is like, bitch, abort mission, do not go past go, like with George, who was hilarious. But then on the other hand, she's like, go for it, girl, with the, like you said, stranger danger.
Which is very fascinating because I liked how that played out because Mira Issa was like, nah, don't fuck with George. What the fuck? And he ended up being irritating as hell, but she was giving him a ride to reconnect with his son. But in the situation where Mira Issa was like, no, go hang out with these bitches. You know, they seem hella cool or whatever. And then they dined and dashed on her. So I think for me, that kind of gave me like, that was leading up to, I'm not going to tell you what to do with Issa because I've been wrong today. I've been wrong.
Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of like goes to even what we even talk about in terms of Issa and Molly's relationship, right? Like nobody gets it right 100% of the time. Like you can have the best of intentions and you might be like, yeah, this is what you need. Like for instance, you need to quit being too fucking nice to people, like giving random people a ride like you did George, but also you need to be more open to meeting new people, but then that could also be the wrong thing. So it's like, there's no way you can bat 100 when it comes to decision making because most situations are mainly unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go back to the beginning of the episode. So you have Kelly calling her, and I'm going to skip around a little bit in terms of the time frame. Let's talk about Kelly a little bit. Now, Kelly was calling her and it was like, girl, what's wrong? What's up? Da, da, da. But for me, I felt disappointed that when Molly did finally call Issa back and Issa had this great cathartic moment with her mother, that the first place that Kelly went was, did you call Molly? What do you think, Season?
Oh yeah, Kelly led me down this episode too, and it still is like adding to what I've been feeling this whole time. How have these bitches been so out the loop that they are totally clueless on what's going on between Issa and Molly? However, at the same time, I've been in situations plenty of times where it's like, man, you know how she is, just make up with her, or just reach out to her, or that's been your friend forever, y'all make up. So I understand the disconnect there, and how sometimes when you're in a group of friends, there's just one person that always has to do the groveling and the apologizing and being the bigger person, because you got a fucking bitch that's running amok and ruining everything. So I get it, but Kelly said something interesting that kind of let me know what the deal was too. She was like, when her and Tiffany fall out, or when they don't patch things up, the same thing happens. So now it's kind of like, okay, well, it's clearly Kelly and Tiffany, and then Molly and Issa, and that's who the close, that they're just in the same group. But as far as being besties, like that's her best friend, Molly is Issa's best friend, and they really may not know what's going on, but still, man, fuck Molly. Ain't nobody got to kiss that girl ass. Come on.
Monica, I mean, a lot of times when you have a group of friends, people are inclined to try to stay neutral and try to like not take sides. And I mean, Issa said, did you keep that same energy with Molly? But in this situation, do you think it's appropriate to try to kind of straddle the fence? I mean, it's obvious that, you know, most people don't want to have to pick a side, but what do you think? Did this situation kind of demand, at least, if not picking a side, at least not centering the other person and trying to console Issa?
I mean, I feel like to Season's point, like where she mentioned about how Kelly, like their issues, like Kelly's issues with, you know, if she didn't patch things up with what's her name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany, sorry. That it gets from, bad to worse. And, I think she was trying to, straddle, but it just also is like, okay, let me do things on my
Mm-hmm.
terms. And when I feel like it, and like, to what you all had said previously regarding them, Issa's always the one to call her, and like Issa's always the one that like, just try and like make a joke out of things, and then they just, move on without really getting into what the real root of the problem is. So it's really, I mean, I've been in that situation before where you just, you want to stay neutral. You want, that mutual friend that you have to stay neutral, but sometimes it gets messier than it needs to be. And it's like, it does come down to the point where you need to pick a side, So it just, I mean, it's just friendships and dynamics, and people are difficult, especially the older you get.
Yeah.
And trying to just be the peacemaker, or whatever, stay neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there's a difference between being neutral and being insensitive. Like, everybody's been in a situation where one person is over here feeling this way, another person's over here feeling that way. But there's a way of listening to what a person feels without taking a side. And I feel like Kelly completely failed because she did not even hear out Issa at all whatsoever. It was just automatically about Molly. It wasn't about Issa winning. I think one of the things that really stood out to me the most, and wait, I'm gonna park that because I want to talk about the mom scene a little bit more. So I'm gonna forget I said that. But the whole thing where I'm going with it is that I just think that Molly failed to be a friend. That your role in that situation wasn't to be a mediator. Her role wasn't to be neutral. Her role in that situation was to be a friend to Issa. Obviously, Issa wasn't answering because she felt some kind of way. And the last thing that somebody wants to hear when they obviously have gotten into a blowout or are feeling down in the dumps is, did you call the person who's been a fucking asshole to them?
Yeah.
So let's move on to, we dealt with Kelly. Let's talk about Nathan a little bit, right? So Issa and Nathan, they have a really nice chat. It seems like they're taking it really slow. Like we have a whole nother season ahead of us. But they're taking it really slow, but they are at least developing a little bit more rapport with Nathan and Issa. And I thought that it was really nice that, I mean, I could tell that what Molly said really penetrated Issa in terms of her feeling insecure about, well, do people think that I'm a user? Am I using people? So I thought that her exchange with Nathan was really constructive and kind of doing away with that notion, at least in this case. Susan, what did you think?
I thought it was really cute. And I mean, I think in general, no matter how confident you are, when someone says something fucked up to you like that, you be like, well, damn, because I've had a moment like that recently where it was like, well, shit, am I that bad? I mean, do somebody got a gun in your head when you talk to me? Like, you ain't got to talk to me, so it be like that. So I think, when someone close to you, I mean, in general, I think as you get older, the number of people who can genuinely hurt your feelings gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And when someone you care about come for you, they can say the most wild shit. Like, well, you on Saturdays you like to go fuck UFOs. You a UFO hoe, and then you be like, well, damn, they can say anything to you, and then you just so taken aback. So I'm glad that Nathan gave her that validation that she needed. And again, I don't really know much about their past like that, but hey, get it where you can. You got to get it where you can get it, because if motherfuckers around you is breaking you down, then sometimes you got to go outside for that validation.
Monica, one thing I liked that Nathan said, well, you needed help and I wanted to help you. And I think that is missing a lot from Molly. Molly seemed to have a very transactional, keeping score of like, you're always needing something and you're always looking at something. And I felt like when Nathan expressed, it's a little bit more true to friendship, that when your friends need help, you help your friends out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've totally been there before. And it's one of those situations, it's like you don't want to see your friends or people that you care about like struggle, like you want to see them win. And so for Molly to kind of like shit on Issa, basically, saying she was like, the way that she tried to make it seem like she was always her Captain Save-A-Ho, like that was, you don't, like you just mentioned, like you don't keep score like that. Like I'm not keeping score on like, oh, I helped you with this or I helped you with that, like you do what you do. Like you don't do what you don't extend a handout to get to a friend to get this
an award,
a trophy. Like you do it because you genuinely want to see your friends win. Like you want to see the people in your circle win,
Yeah.
So it just is, like I said, I've totally been in that situation, and sometimes you do get shitted on for being a helping individual, and then but it's like for me, like I know that the situations I've been in and my friends that have helped me, and it's like I just want to be able to pay it forward, but sometimes you pay it forward to the wrong people, and it's just like that was a fucking waste. And now anyone else that I see that's going through a time, I don't have anything for you, just because I know of what happened to me in the past. Like, sorry about it.
Yeah, but I think one area where I could say that this show has 100% shown some growth in Issa, excuse me, is that they haven't just reverted back to the whole call up a dude trope. I think that's a really big area of growth for the show and for Issa. I mean, yes, she did call up Nathan or whatever to kind of get a recap, but in terms of like when she's really feeling down in the dumps, she's kind of figured out a way to handle it that didn't involve leaning on another man. I think that's a real area of growth. But it's obvious, like I said, that what Molly said really had Issa insecure, which actually led to some of the most hilarious scenes that this show has had all season. Number one, the grocery store, where the pregnant chick is asking people to to buy her groceries, and Issa Mirror is saying, "No, bitch, you better not volunteer." Even you have a toddler. That's not a good idea to offer to buy anybody's groceries that has some kid shit, right?
Well, I ain't buying nobody groceries, honey. Now, I'll look in my little purse and see if I got some dollars for you, but I ain't there yet. You know, stuff will sneak up on you. They can come up, they can have a damn phone in their basket. And, what you got up in here? Because she only had one basket, so it seemed harmless. It seemed like, oh, well, let me help this pregnant chick out. But that scene was funny.
So then we had old George trying to catch the bus, and Issa saying, "Bitch, no, you do not know him. You're gonna get slapped across the face. Don't do it. You better not." But real life Issa could not resist. Monica, how hilarious was those things? I mean, George really brought the heat this season, right? I mean, this episode, right?
He was over here just like, backseat driving, fun dip. I was like, fun dip? No, ma'am, not fun dip. And then, she was just trying to get a scope of like, all right, where's my man's going, so I can, have a gauge on like, he could be going. The brand goes pretty far. I mean, but it does. So it's like you going like a mile, 2 or 10, like, So, I mean, needless to say, he knew everyone in the hood. He was over here talking about being a cat daddy and running trains and this. I was like, wait a minute. So he was, pretty entertaining. But I mean, when, he got to where he was going, it just, it obviously all came together, and which was heartwarming to see that, him meeting with his son or seeing his son, it seemed like after a while.
Yeah, he was like, "Dad."
I know, like, okay, was your son out? He had a picture of the house, like, yeah, this is where I'm going. George is so inappropriate, but I do think that was one of those cases where it was obviously clearly hilarious, but it did help move the plot forward because it's showing the real internal struggle that Issa is having in terms of really, again, feeling insecure, but also being a total pushover and not being like, look, I'm not gonna just drive blindly. I'm not gonna drop you off at the bathroom. I'm not gonna just keep having you talk to me in all kind of way. But I did love how they have. I mean, some of the funniest. Like old people are inappropriate, right? I can say that old people are inappropriate. It's not being ageist. They're hilarious. They have no fucking cut cards, and then on top of all that, the whole conspiratorial part. Like, I'm not gonna give you my address. You can give to. That's real black. That is real black.
That's blackity black.
The government is not tracking you, George. Okay, the government is tracking Issa, if anybody. Okay, it's going to be in her cookies and her GPS. But I did appreciate how, it captures so many of those people that we encounter in this one character, and they brilliantly pulled that off. Then we have the pay and sit bitches. But when Issa's fantasy ran up on them bitches and physically assaulted the one girl, I was cheering. But when I found out that it was just a fantasy, I said,
"Oh, knew that wasn't real."
I know. I thought like, okay, maybe Issa has taken over. But I was so disappointed when real life Issa just sat there and let them bitches play her like that. Monica, come on, right? I mean, Issa should have got buck with them chicks, right?
I mean, that is some wild. That's some wildness. Like, it just, she should have, but she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take this L. Sometimes you just got to take an L and just keep it pushing because karma's a bitch. We all know that. So that was a lot.
Is that an L you could take laying down?
Hell, motherfucking no! When I took that goddamn L, you kidding me? Shit. First of all, I would have had to have a talk with the manager. Like, I'm not paying this. We're gonna be 100% clear on that. So this is my responsibility. I don't know them, but I would have ran up on them hoes for sure. I mean, if I would have ended up having to pay the whole thing, I would have ran up on them for real. But I do appreciate that Issa found out it wasn't necessarily personal, it was a game to them. But
does that make it better though? Because I thought that was not
for me. If I knew, it makes it better because I wouldn't have taken it personal at that point. I still would have been mad, like, man, fuck y'all bitches. But I wouldn't have taken it personal. I wouldn't have been like, damn, why they had to do me like that? Or, it's like they were going to do that to somebody and it was just my unlucky day. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I thought that situation was going to make her want to talk to Molly because it would have been her getting in her head saying, look how hard it's going to be to make new friends and get back out here. But it didn't do that. So I appreciated that part. I did. I liked that little part of the episode.
I thought it was a valuable part. And I did think that maybe that was kind of the problem. Like, well, it's not so easy to make friends. Like, people can be cool, but they can be pieces of shit too. However, with that being said, oh no, it would have been some furniture moving. Them bitches would have got rammed the entire fuck over. It would have been some
Damn.
call there was, them bitches would have totally got fucked up. Okay, like it would have not been no taking no L. Yeah, no. I would have taken all three of them bitches down. Period. I just got some new mace too. From yeah. I might order a taser too. I saw a taser. I think that said was like up on discount. I said, bitch, no. So yeah, no. It's that call. I'm not inciting people to violence. But Jill Scott said it best sometimes that you need to smack a bitch. And them bitches definitely deserve to get smacked. That was fucked up. But I think it sends the wrong message because the reality is that we meet chicks that are perfectly fine all the time. They don't dine and dash. You might not hang out ever again, but you just have a nice little rapport and then you go on about your business. So for the plot's sake, I thought it was cool, but there's absolutely no motherfucking way that Reese would have let that shit slide. It would have been a whole motherfucking thing. That would have been the rest of my night. Would have been tracking them bitches down and beating their ass.
And shout out to Kyla Pratt for her best Lauren London impersonation. She tried it. You did good tonight, boo boo.
Oh my God. Bye.
Don't do Kyla like that, because before Lauren London, there was Kyla Pratt.
No, ma'am.
Yes. Kyla had the TV show with Flex.
But she was a teenager.
That was before Nunu. That was before Lauren London.
Wasn't she like a teenager on that
She
show?
was, but Kyla Pratt been around longer than Lauren London. So I kiki at the fun shade, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna still give Kyla her Pratt. I'm gonna give her.
Gave me Lauren London tease, but you know what? You just schooled me, so maybe I might. No, I think that was
No, because Kyla was the original LA girl. Kyla had the show with Flex. She did she do the Proud Family too? Kyla has her. She has her.
Kyla did the Proud Family. Mm-hmm.
She's an LA girl. You know, she's not the.
So that's where Lauren got her inspiration from.
I'm not saying that's where Lauren got her inspiration. I'm just saying that Kyla had her lane. She's in her lane.
Okay, what did she do?
I mean, isn't she? You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I was gonna say, isn't she married to a crump dancer? Isn't her baby daddy a crump dancer?
I just recently heard they split
Stripper.
up.
Okay, that's fine.
I heard he was a barber.
Well, we're getting all off.
They broke up.
But
Anywho.
I'm not a gossip page, and we don't keep it positive.
Ooh. Okay, my bad.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, okay. So I think we spend enough time on that. But like I said, nuck if you buck, bitch. No, you're not gonna run off me. Period. Point blank in a motherfucking period ever in your life. Don't even think about it. Don't even try it. You never too old to smack a bitch who try to run up on you. And then the fact that they tried to befriend her and make it seem like she was all cool was extra. That was just cruel. You should not combine Dine and Dash and befriend a friend, because we know Issa ain't got coins like that to be paying for no whole ass bill. She couldn't even make it out the grocery store. So yeah, she gave y'all bitches free wine, you know, and you just gassed her up to Dine and Dash. That is evil. That's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in the history of this show in terms of the most like mean-spirited, fucked up things. I don't give a damn about no bachelorette party shit.
No motherfucking gang.
But you know what? When she said her fiance proposed to her by faking an OD situation, I should have told you this bitch was crazy anyway. She should have said, you know what?
The ghetto.
Yeah. Okay. Enough on that. So now we get to the mama thing. So Issa showing growth does not call up Nathan. She does not call up Lawrence. She goes and calls up Mama. Season. What happened?
She called her mama.
Yes.
I really, really liked that scene. It took me to a little place. I was tearing up. You know what I'm saying? I just spent the week with my mama, and I was sad when she left.
Our mama.
Our mama. I was sad when she left. I talked to her today. We had like the ultimate mama conversation because I'm a mom now. And I mean, you never know how much you need your mom or a mother figure. You know what I'm saying? That shit is priceless. And like I had said earlier, I'm glad that none of that scene was given to Molly and her issues and that drama. It was all about Issa and like that true, genuine, loving connection that she needs. Because quite frankly, she has that with nobody right now.
Right.
She don't have that just genuine, like, I don't care what you do. I love you and I'm proud of you. She don't have that with nobody. I mean, her brother, you know, but you know what I'm saying? But so it was just, I really, for me, that scene alone might make me a fan of this show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it might, because it's like, it's just the build up to it. You know, I've been asking, this is our fourth thing.
Fourth, yeah.
So I've been asking, give me some emotion, Issa. Give me something, bitch. I mean, ain't anything. And I didn't see no tear, but she was crying.
Yeah.
So I really love that. And I just, you know, being a new mom with a 20-month-old, I hate doing that, but he ain't 2 yet.
Yeah.
But being a mom, I know how easy I can come for him now. And if I can do that when he's 30, my life will be fulfilled. It really would.
Mm-hmm. Monica, what did that scene mean to you? What did that speak to you about?
Definitely, it doesn't, whether you're at odds or like depending on like your relationship with your mom or whatever it is, when you like need your mom, you know what I'm saying? Like when you like need your mom, like, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, like, just that hug is just, I mean, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you break down, because, like I said, whether you're at odds, whether you're BFFs, whether you're, whatever the situation is, like sometimes you just need that like maternal hug or just that maternal reassurance that
Mm-hmm.
everything is going to be okay. You're on the path to what you need to do, and just like those wise words that you're probably not going to get from too many people, because not that many people know you as well as your mom or your dad, or whatever the situation
Yeah,
is. So
I agree, and I think she's
whew.
what you said too.
She made it through it without crying.
I know. Everybody cried. I told them, I said, "Damn, this would have been good for the show." Everybody cried
Yeah.
before I started recording. Yeah, no, but I thought what was beautiful about the episode, and I actually like typed it down on my notepad, was when her mom said, "I admire that about you." And I think that was such a powerful thing to come from your mother, who loves you unconditionally and that's not always the case. Well, not everybody don't have the perfect relationship with their mom. But when it comes to Issa and her mom, there is obviously some sort of detachment there, which hasn't been explained. But nevertheless, in that moment, her mom really showed up and provided something without prompting that Issa really needed in that moment. And something that's been missing, I mean, we have heard people say, congratulations, or what you did was awesome. And I don't know, maybe somebody has said they're proud of her for a specific accomplishment, but nobody has really said that they admire Issa for her character and for who she is as a person. And she's been just getting shitted on for 4 seasons now, right? And so I thought that was really beautiful that her mom came there and provided her that much needed, and I will say well-deserved validation, and coming off of what it was supposed to be this really triumphant win for her. And it seems like she was really denied that moment, which to me, I was just like, oh, I want Issa to have that win. So that was one of those few times where I felt like, you know what, Issa got that win. And sometimes that's a win that only your mother can give you, depending on your situation. There could be somebody else who can give you that win, but I have to say, I tip my hat to Wendy McCall Robinson, who is flawless in everything that she does. Everything.
Back.
Yes, Tasha Mack. But she was in this show, Cherish the Day, that Ava DuVernay did. She was incredible on that. I want to see more. Get Wendy a show, okay? But anyway, no, I thought it was really beautiful that she just said she gave Issa that character cosign that she just doesn't have, because Issa is all over the place. Her mom said it, you're all over the place. But I love that it came from a place of love, of like, you have all this talent, you have all these things that you're capable of, rather than like from Molly, who's like, you're a fuck up, you never have your shit together, you're always asking for something, which again, I don't think is an accurate portrayal of the Issa character that we've come to know. So I thought it was a beautiful moment. It was a much needed moment. And, even though Kelly came and kind of threw some, whatever on it with her whole Molly comment, it seemed like that kind of set things right with Issa. So Issa gets home. Now she's responding to messages. She's more confident. She's like, coming soon. And then she goes to go get some food. Season, tell the viewers what you said when Issa pulled up to the Ethiopian. What did you say?
I said, if she walk in this restaurant and see Molly, I'm ripping my TV off the fucking.
I was like, rip it off, rip it off.
I'm throwing it off the fucking window. And sure enough, she saw Molly, so I'm like, well, bitch, if you go in there and then this whole thing is just over and y'all kiki over some Ethiopian food, fuck Insecure. You just fucked it up Then the mirror was like, well, bitch, what you gonna do? I ain't got nothing for you. And Issa on her own turned the fuck around and said, not today, Satan. And she went home. She went and got some In-N-Out. She got some Taco Bell. Right.
I was just gonna say that she went to get some In-N-Out.
And my TV is still on the wall because I want a new one anyway, so I really would.
Monica, do you think that scene? I mean, it was a little bit predictable. I thought, okay, it could be Lawrence there, it could be Nathan there, it could be anybody there. But
you said Lawrence, yeah.
I did say Lawrence. Okay, I'm gonna be transparent. I said Lawrence. But Monica, do you think that scene was handled well, or do you think that would you have rathered for some sort of like at least a cliffhanger of a reconciliation?
No, that she handled it well. I mean, that was a cliffhanger because it's like what's gonna happen, but it's just like she handled it well. She was high as a kite, so she probably didn't need to be going up in there, you know, and seeing Molly. But she handled it well and on her terms, like walking away and not, you know, and going wherever she went. And, you know, like you said, not today. And she was coming off a high, literally and physically, from, you know, responding to all the positive responses that she had got about the event. So it's just like, no, you ain't gonna take my joy today, boo boo. And you know, kept it moving.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though. She had those positive responses at the beginning of the episode, right? All these social media posts, but it's so crazy how that negative voice, particularly one like season, like you said, only so many people can hurt your feelings. That negative voice really was like nagging in her head to the point to where she's making these kind of crazy decisions, right? Can drown that out. And so I think that there is a lesson, at least in this episode, of like, you know what? Not to say that you seek, first of all, don't seek external validation, period, right? But, you know, don't let one person's opinion overshadow a win and something that really is a triumph for you. So I thought that was a good lesson, that it seemed like kind of Issa was learning, but also I thought it was really interesting that Issa is like a pushover, right? I mean, she was pushed over by George, which I thought was hilarious. She was pushed over by random chicks, but she really decided to stand her ground with Molly, which I thought was really a strong point for Issa in terms of her seeing Molly and saying, you know what, I'm not dealing with this shit. But I also thought it was interesting how Molly was sitting there in her phone.
She was bothered than a motherfucker.
Totally motherfucking not like tripping off the situation. Yeah. The fact that she ruined her best friend's motherfucking event and shitted all over her. So season, doesn't that kind of go to the notion that like Molly's whole point was to sabotage Issa and shit on her?
I'm not sure about the sabotage part. I mean, obviously her not helping Issa was part of like sabotaging a little bit. Molly is just a bitch and she don't see outside of herself, in her opinion, in her own needs. So the fact that she was up in this restaurant kikiing on the phone, and you know, we saw what kind of day Issa had, and that's the kind of day you want to tell your best friend about, you know. So it, you know, so it's just like, it just shows like, you know, Molly is unbothered, and she really felt convicted in what she said, and she chilling. Meanwhile, people on the phone telling Issa you need to call her. And then, you know, Issa asking people, am I a bad person? You know, but Molly is just chilling. And then the next episode, which I guess we're gonna get there, but I'm like, oh, okay, Molly kicking it, which is usually the case.
Okay, it be the motherfuckers that be the most wrong, be the most unbothered, right, Monica? Like Molly, I didn't read too much into her. Did you get vibes like, I'm unbothered, bitch? I'm not even worried about the fact that I just ruined my best friend. I got into a big argument with my so-called best friend. Monica, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, she, like you to both your point, like she just is super unbothered, detached, in her own world and tunnel vision of like, you know, and kept it moving, you know. And it's really unfortunate because she could have handled that situation better than what than the way it went down. But I mean, it went down the way it went down, and it's now snowballed into Issa's new realizations
Attitude.
with friendships, yeah, and attitude, and and just relationships with family, and trying to do her own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like what we left with on this episode was Issa is ready to conquer the world. She's not going to be a fucking pushover, at least for Molly. If for nobody else, she's not gonna be a pushover for Molly. And I think she is finally starting to figure out, like, okay, I'm making a decision that this is the direction that I'm going, and I'm convicted in that decision, and finally feeling good about herself. So to wrap this conversation up, we saw the preview, right? Now, the preview, we had our Issa episode, which I thought was a great Issa episode. One of the best, I think the best episode this season, and one of the strongest episodes in all 4 seasons. Next week is Molly and Andrew. Okay. Let me just take a quick, just raise your hand, or how about thumbs up or thumbs down?
Wait, pause. Because I can't see the previews on like Go, so I didn't see the preview. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so the preview, if you're watching HBO, if you're watching Insecure on HBO Go, they don't show the previews. So the previews shows that Molly is going on a Mexican vacation with her beau Andrew, and so obviously, like I said, we have to.
It's a double date. So they're with another Andrew's people.
Andrew's brother, it looks like. Andrew's
okay.
And his wife, I presume. But it's not a black couple. Okay, let me stipulate to that. Okay.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Molly is corporate, so Molly can do her code switching thing or whatever, and she fake as fuck. So I'm sure she won't have a problem, playing nice and being all corporate with Andrew and his folks. But so the preview showed that Molly is likely going to get her own episode, like we got an Issa episode. But let me just ask you, ladies, are you like? Because for me, well, let me just ask you first. Are you here, or do you think that now is an appropriate time to give Molly an episode? If you believe yes, then thumbs up. If you believe no, then thumbs down. Okay, your background. What is that? Okay, you're like, okay. So we're in 3 different areas. Okay, Monica, I'm going to start with you. Monica, you were like,
Lord.
All right. Why? I mean, go ahead. Tell me why you think a Molly episode is you're one way. You're indifferent to it.
I mean, I'm indifferent, but we also don't know like what's going to happen outside of their vacation.
Yeah.
Whether she's going to talk to Issa or like call her while she's on vacation, because it's going from sugar to shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do, is call your friends and you let them know, like, you let them know that like this is a waste or whatever the situation is. So I mean, we've all been on first time vacations with significant others or whatever, and it's either gone good or bad, or or you just trying to leave early or whatever it is. But so I mean, that's just, I mean, not to be like that's random, but I mean it's random for me. It sounds really random, like you're coming from like this really emotional episode with Issa, and then you're jumping into Molly going on vacation. So it's like kind of random for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Season, what do you think? Because you were a thumbs up. You're here.
I was thumbs up only because Andrew is a voice of reason to Molly. So you have that factor. Then it's obviously gonna be like, well, this is her relationship with Andrew. If it goes well, Molly's life is gonna be perfect, but we know it's not, because she's a fucking asshole. So she's gonna have this trip. Things might come up between her and Andrew. Issa might come up, whatever. But we need to see more of what's going on with Molly O'Neill to move the story along, because it's not going to be believable essentially if she just call up Issa. Like, we need to see Molly's come to Jesus moment, and maybe that'll be the next episode. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I get your point. I'm thumbs down for petty reasons, but I will say why I see where you're coming from. Because at a minimum, it seems like it advances the plot. And I think sometimes Insecure suffers from being kind of stale. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck just happened? Like, literally nothing happened. We you have 30-minute episodes. It's only so many episodes a season. And yet we're not moving forward in terms of what is going on. And so I think that at a minimum, it goes to great lengths, or I'm predicting it will go to great lengths to kind of developing Molly and Andrew's relationship past the superficial of like, I'm busy. Oh, okay, well, I'm busy. Or can we have dinner? Or can we have a fucking conversation where you talk as well as I talk? Like, come on, So I think that that's a good thing. And one of the things, and I'm just kind of reading tea leaves, or maybe reading too much into it. It seems like Andrew's brother is going to be calling the shots a little bit more on the vacation, which is completely like the antithesis of Molly's control freak character. So I think that'll be interesting to see something. So I think there will be some interesting things about it. But the part of me that's like thumbs down is like, I'm petty. Look, I have not forgiven Molly. I don't want to see Molly happy per se. Like, I'm not saying miserable, but what I'm saying is I think it's fucked up that you like screw over your friend, you're like a total bitch to your friend, make her feel like shit, don't apologize, and then you get whisked off to some fucking exotic vacation, and we're in a pandemic too. So I'm really salty about that because I was supposed to be in goddamn Aruba this fucking week, so I don't want to okay. But so I'm salty, I'm petty and salty. But anyway, with Molly, I feel like, it's fucked up. How does Issa get dined and dashed and, shit on and all sort of kind of stuff? And then here you have Molly, like you said, she's living this perfect fucking life. And she's a bitch. She's an asshole. So, I guess that's why I'm petty. But for plot purposes, yes. Is it good that Molly gets her episode where they advance the plot on her side? Yes. But for like karma purposes, fuck no. It's terrible. Molly should be at home miserable.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
All right. That was a longer rant than I expected. But anyway, let me wrap it up. And let's just say, just some quick final like thoughts about, we're coming up, I believe, on the end of the season. Where do we stand with Issa now? Do we think that Issa, because one of my big questions was what's next? Like, okay, we're going to get to the Black Party, then what? Do we think that Issa, notwithstanding her relationship with Molly, but do we think that Issa is finally on some kind of footing to where she can kind of move forward in a really productive and constructive way? Or are things still kind of up in the air with the whole Nathan thing? We still haven't heard from Lawrence now in 2 episodes. What are your thoughts, Season? You started off.
I think obviously we're gonna see a Lawrence thing by the end of the season, but I just, I'm feeling Issa and her confidence level going back up. So, hopefully she keeps the momentum going with work, and she keeps the momentum going with self-care.
Monica?
Same. I hope, Issa just keeps her momentum up, and, when the girls were asking, the Dine and Dash girls were asking, like, so what do you do? Are you like are you in marketing? Are you an event planner? And I think that like a light bulb went off in her head. Like, I kind of am, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that will, to Susan's point, advance her career, and then, she'll be able to seek other avenues of work and income, and just being just leveling up with regards to her life. And I think taking it back to the first episode, our first or second episode, when she finally was like, okay, fuck it, like I need to get my own place, I need to do this. So I think it's like another hopefully stepping stone and level up for Issa to win, even though she isn't corporate like her friends or like anything like that. Like, she is just like a little entrepreneur, and I totally feel her.
Level up. Yes, I'm here for Issa leveling up. I agree with you. I think you both stated it perfectly. Issa's confidence is up, like you said, Monica. It's like a light bulb went out. So as much as those fake bitches, they still think they need to get slapped. I do think that at least that is constructive, and that like they were fake, right? But I think that their feedback, like, wow, that's dope, was legitimate. Like what Issa was able to accomplish is actually dope. And so what I hope that we'll see is Issa truly standing on her own 2 feet. No help from Condola, no fake help from hating ass mom.
I forgot about Condola.
I know, right?
Hello.
But now she's kind of stepped through, and now she knows how to, harness her network and harness her talent. And so I'm hoping that Issa really has turned a corner and starts to really, like you said, level up. And I think that if something happens or doesn't happen with Molly, I'm hoping that Issa will get to the point to where that doesn't define how she feels about herself and how she feels about her success.
Agreed.
So, ladies, I thank you so much. I think this is probably a little long, but it's okay. People watch, cool. They don't watch, they don't wait. It's not that big of a deal either. But I think we had a great episode to get through. So I really, really appreciate y'all for talking through this episode with me. And I'm assuming I can count on y'all next week, right? To talk about the Molly episode. But for those of you watching, thanks for watching. And you can count on me at least being here because I'm Black Woman Views. And my friends will be here as well to recap the Molly episode. And we'll try to not be all down on Molly. I think Season and Monica will probably be a little bit less down on Molly than me, but I'll try to put my petty hat to the
I'll begrudgingly watch it because I hear where you're coming from, but it's we gonna see. We gonna see, and we can't make promises. Okay, we can't make promises. So for those of you who are Molly fans, I can't make promises that you're not gonna be pissed off, but be cool. I personally am a huge Ivana Orji fan. I think she is fucking fantastic. She's so hilarious. I cannot wait for her HBO special to come out and watch that. But as far as Molly, I ain't got shit for Molly, period. So thanks y'all for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye, and cheers.